We know that what happened here is a homicide, a deadly shooting. In fact, deputies had to expand the crime scene area after my photographer Javier found shell casings on the floor.
Will anyone talk to you about that video?
No, they will not. Today we went to the Henry County School District. We tried contacting them several times through different avenues, and the answer is always the same: no comment.
Governor Val Simpson with Wink News. Governor, what's the state's stance on corporal punishment in schools? And have you seen the video?
They were reinforcing that their message needed to be heard by President Biden. And right now, what you're seeing behind me, everybody is about to take part in a march. Those students that are going to be returning back to the classroom, they must remember that they need to wear a mask and social distancing. And there's a huge chance that their schedule will be new, as well as a new teacher. Superintendent Michael Swindle says he had no knowledge about a letter from the Department of Education. At the beginning of the school board meeting, the board approved the entire agenda for personnel, including reappointing Melissa Carter as principal of Central Elementary next year. This is a live look at the Capitol now. Cheney was the party's #3 Republican leader. Cheney pushed back against former President Trump's claim on the 2020 election. Harry Chapin helps people of all backgrounds and walks of life. At Tuesday's food pantry in Immokalee, we saw just how powerful the impact is. It isn't clear from the video who had the right of way, but one thing that both the lawyer and the Naples police agree on is that no matter what, if you're involved in a crash, you must always stay at the scene. I'll be riding on a bus together with our executive producer, Laura Cardona, and one of our photogs, and we'll be joining 55 other Cuban and Cuban Americans that are going to be driving up to Washington, D.C. 47% of the U.S. population has gotten at least one COVID-19 shot. Through smiles and laughter, sometimes it's hard to realize the people around us that are struggling because of the pandemic. For example, Sandro Rodriguez. He's an on-air personality on 97.7 Latino, Wink News Spanish language sister radio station. The March to a Million Meals campaign has a little over 3 more weeks to go. Lewis is tracking how much is raised so far.
Yeah, you see so much need in that community.
They tell me that they want freedom for their country. They want democracy. They want the current regime to end. And right now I'm here with, hi there, how are you? Can you say your name, please?
Christina Rabago.
Christina, where are you from?
I'm from Kissimmee, Florida.
And tell me about this walk that you guys are about to partake in.
We are marching over to the Cuban embassy.
Val, do people seem hopeful still today?
No, they just don't want everyone parking.
Will Ross, from most of the people that I've been speaking to, are saying that time is of the essence. However, the memorial wall is full of signs that say, don't give up, don't lose hope.
Val, what's the school district doing?
Amanda, the district is contacting all of the students' families to encourage them to go back to brick and mortar classrooms in the new year. As a matter of fact, the 16,000 students have been flagged for not getting good enough grades. We are still on the road, but we are set to arrive sometime around 12:40. I do have to say that this has been such an incredible experience to be able to take this trip. This has been a day full of emotions. We've heard stories of suffering, frustration, and of course, hope. Dozens of people we spoke to today shared with us the reason why they're here, or for whom. Live in Lehigh Acres, I'm Val Simpson, Wink News Now.
Finally, you understand what's going on. Wait, would you go out?
That's a school principal.
No, put your hands down.
Hitting a 6-year-old with a wooden paddle in front of her mother.
Con el odio que le dio a mi hija, o sea, fue un odio que realmente yo nunca le había dado a mi hija como ella le dio.
We know the name of the woman with the paddle through a report from the Henry County Sheriff's Office. It says the principal of Central Elementary, Melissa Carter, and Cecilia Self, a clerk, are the 2 women in the video. We tried to reach them through the school district, but were unsuccessful. The child's mother recorded this video. Why didn't she stop the beating?
Si yo lo hubiera hecho con mi propia mano, a mí me hubiera ido mal. Yo no sé, yo estuviera en la cárcel.
Mom told deputies the school called Tuesday, April 13th, saying her daughter damaged the computer. The fee? $50. In the report, Mom says the school also mentioned paddling, with her and a deputy present. In the report, the mother says she didn't understand the process correctly. Later that day, she went to the school to pay the fee, and they took her into the principal's office.
y ya ella la tenían ahí. Entonces, la principal empezó a gritar.
Behaving and taking care of the stuff. You don't keep messing up things.
Mom looks around, no cameras. Nerves set in.
Dije, bueno, no hay cámaras. ¿Qué estamos haciendo aquí en este lugar, mi hija y yo solas?
So she did what she thought was her only option.
¿Cómo compruebo si no había una cámara?
She hid her cell phone in her purse and pressed record.
Yo sacrifiqué a mi hija para que todos los padres se den cuenta lo que están haciendo en esta escuela.
Hendry County School District's policy does not allow corporal punishment. It says, quote, the superintendent shall designate sanctions for the infractions of rules, excluding corporal punishment. In fact, the policy encourages procedures that, quote, do not demean students and do not tend to violate any individual rights constitutionally guaranteed to students.
For aggravated battery, this is an aggravated battery. It's battery using a weapon that can cause severe physical harm.
Brent Pravinsky is the family's lawyer. He works with undocumented immigrants.
The child's terrified. She feels vulnerable. There's nothing she can do in the hands of these adults who overpower her and treat her so brutally, savagely, and really sadistically. If you look at that video, this principal was sadistic.
Pravinsky says it's now up to the state attorney to decide whether to pursue charges against the principal and the clerk in the video. Mom took her daughter to the doctor that same day, documented the red marks and bruises. She now worries about the long-term psychological damage.
Y voy a hacer justicia por mi hija porque si no lo pude hacer en presente de ella, lo voy a hacer con la justicia.
Wink News contacted the Hendry County School District several times. Their official statement is no comment.
Que nadie tenga miedo de solamente por decir soy hispana. Yo voy a hacer lo que sea para yo sacar a mis hijas adelante y tratar de enseñarles que aquí está una madre que sí mira por ellas.
Behind the upbeat persona that touches listeners every day, you can't hear Sandra Rodriguez's suffering. Rodriguez is desperately looking for a way to get the COVID vaccine for his son, Alex.
Trying to get, into the public website, trying to get here, trying to get there, we haven't been able to do anything.
Alex has a muscular dystrophy known as MD. It's a congenital disease that damages and weakens the muscles over time.
He was born with a disease. After 3 years old, he started declining, and they gave him about 6 years to live.
But Alex is a fighter who's already defied the odds. He turns 30 this year. This week, Lee Health received 1,000 more vaccines to be administered to people under 65, considered vulnerable patients. The Lee Health system will prioritize who gets the shot first. But Alex isn't a Lee Health patient, and the CDC does not list muscular dystrophy as a medical condition made more dangerous by COVID-19. But don't say that to this dad.
He's afraid daily, He's always telling me, Papi, am I going to die? Am I going to get sick? The nurses are coming in. They don't have the vaccine yet.
Through something rough, don't give up.
This was Miqueas Perez Ramos, or Mickey, as his family called him, an 18-year-old full of life and dreams. Mickey's greatest inspiration, his younger brother, a cancer survivor.
He was basically my best friend. But if he wasn't with his friends, he was with me. He wanted to help out little kids suffering also with cancer.
But Mickey didn't get to graduate. On February 13th, a hit-and-run driver took his life. Mickey's family says that night he went for a walk like he usually did. When he didn't return home, they went out looking for him. Their mom found Mickey in a ditch.
I can't do anything. There's nothing I could do to take her pain away.
Investigators narrowed down a suspect. FHP told Wink News they conducted an extensive investigation and turned over the findings to the state attorney's office. But the prosecutor decided not to make an arrest. Now, Mickey's sister hopes the driver will turn themselves in.
Confess what you did. Confess you seen him. Confess you hit him and left him there.
The family's lawyer, Casey Gartland, says the investigation remains open, thanks to new information his law firm discovered.
The first duty of society is justice. And so that starts with a thorough investigation, the filing of formal charges, and a conviction for the woman that killed Miqueas Perez Ramos.
Now the family hopes the state attorney's office will take action.
Why can't we have justice for my brother for what they did to him?
Val Simpson, Wink News, now.